Have you come across my teaspoons of sugar equivalents?
No, I don't think I've come across that one.
Oh, well, thank heavens we got to that. I wanted to find a way to help my patients understand how sugary carbohydrate foods were. And the glycemic load is really interesting. But one of my partners said that I was a glycemic load bore. And she said, for heaven's sake, will you find a better way to talk about the glycemic load? And it worked out, why don't you just get the glycemic load of a teaspoon of sugar and divide the glycemic load of a bowl full of cornflakes or a baked potato by the glycemic load of a teaspoon of sugar? Then you've got the teaspoon of sugar equivalent of that food.
Mm.
So I can tell you that 150 grams of boiled rice is the same as 10 teaspoons of sugar in terms of the glycemic load. I
Mm.
can tell you that 150 grams of mashed potato is 9 teaspoons of sugar. A banana is 5.5 teaspoons of sugar.
Wow.
And I got together with Dr. Jeffrey Leavesey, an international expert on this, and we published these teaspoon of sugar equivalents in 2016. They've now been translated into 35 languages. They're everywhere. They're
Nice.
massive. I'm going to have to bring some for you to you need them up. They should be on your wall. That wall is blank.
Definitely.
Where are my teaspoon of sugar
Yeah.
equivalents? And I've done it for fruits. So some fruits are much sugary than others. Raspberries are pretty good, but bananas, mangoes are really bad. And I can tell you the teaspoon of sugar equivalents of 880 different foods, all of which is then translated into all these, I think it's 35 languages, it's going up all the time. These charts have been downloaded millions of times all around the world. And generally, it's the single most useful thing I've done with my life, probably the
Wow.
single most useful thing. Because when you tell somebody that the rice they are eating is the same as 10 teaspoons of sugar, they realize maybe I could eat something else. And when you tell them, well, cauliflower rice has got 1/20th of the sugar in it, they, then they'll do it. And it's all about supplying, not bullying people, not shouting at them, but supplying relevant information that is useful to people. And then they can individualize their diet. So I'm not telling nobody, there aren't two of us with the same diet. Even Jen and I don't have the same diet. Each of us finds out what's tasty, how do we feel on that diet, can we afford it, and how does it sit with our beliefs? And so this idea of information and the sugar equivalent of food, if you have diabetes, is very, very useful. And then, of course, you can experiment with a continuous glucose monitor and find out if I'm lying.
Mhm. Yeah.
So you shall have all my teaspoon
Oh,
of sugar equivalents. I shall bring them.
I'm
I've
always
got
interested.
thousands.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great.
yeah, thousands and thousands.